This is like the various lathe operations we have discussed, and I hope so you have drawn the figures like facing, turning, reaming, and all things. All the figures was drawn yesterday itself. Okay, I have told you. So now this comes under the various lathe operations. We had 10 numbers, and I hope so you have drawn the figures. And soon after that, as the time permits, we have left the class. So we will have a brief review of all this today. Okay, regarding the facing. So as you have seen the figure, okay, we have a chuck, the workpiece, and the tool. So what is the facing? Facing is also a machining operation of the face and the workpiece to make it flat. Okay, mainly facing is a machining of the face of the workpiece. Always it is used to make it flat. It is also called squaring. Okay, the facing can be also called as squaring also. The workpiece held in the chuck is rotated. Here we see the workpiece. Okay, here always what happens is we see the workpiece. The workpiece is seen here, the workpiece. So the workpiece always rotated in the chuck. Okay, this is the chuck. Okay, we have a 2-jaw chuck, we have 3-jaw chuck, 4-jaw chuck, and magnetic chuck. According to the purpose, we use the chuck, and according to the width and dimensions of the workpiece, we sell the chucks. So in the case of facing, we have a machining operation of the face of the workpiece to make it flat. And it is also called squaring. It is also called squaring. So here the workpiece is held in the chuck and it's rotated. Here you see the workpiece. The workpiece is always held in the chuck and it is rotated. So the facing tool in the tool post is fed perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Here the facing tool. Here the facing tool in the fed means the facing tool. This is the facing tool. This is the facing tool. So the facing tool in this fed perpendicular to the axis of rotation. You see, it is always fed perpendicular. Okay, almost 90 degree perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Okay, this is what happens in the case of facing. Now in the case of plane turning, second one is the plane turning, which we are describing, or plane turning. So in the case of plane turning, what happens? The same thing. I hope so you have drawn the figure. So in the case of plane turning, it's a lathe operation in which diameter of cylindrical job dimension. So in turning, the workpiece is held between the lathe centers in a chuck. The same, the tool is cramped in the tool post. The same, the workpiece is rotated and the tool is fed parallel to the axis. Okay, here the tool is fed parallel. Okay, the tool is fed exactly parallel to the axis. That's what in the case of plane turning happens. Okay, this is what happens. And there are various types of turning operations like step turning, okay, eccentric turning, shoulder turning, all that are there. But in the case of step turning, it is also the same as, but here it's formed in the form of a step turn. Okay, it forms of step. That's why it is almost what perpendicular. Okay, the tool is almost what perpendicular. Yeah, the tool is almost perpendicular. So the turning operation also, the cylindrical jobs reduced and the workpiece rotated and the feed piece parallel to the axis of rotation. But in the case of step turning, it is always in the case of turning operation, it is always parallel to the axis. So here we also have a chuck, a jaw, and a workpiece. Now, with respect to the step turning, we also have eccentric turn. Okay, so eccentric turn is useful for turning a crankshaft on a lathe, where capital D is the large diameter of the taper and small d is the small diameter of the taper and L is the length of the taper top and alpha. So this is what happens in the case of taper turning. Then it comes with phase operation. So we have discussed all this and the drilling operations, reaming and boring and undercut, threading, knurling. Okay, forming. So in the last class, we have discussing about a chamfering. Okay, we were telling about chamfering. So after this reaming, boring, okay, after this after trapper turning, we have discussed about drilling operations, then reaming operations, then boring operations, and undercutting. All this were discussed before previously. So after that, what happens is we have known as chamfering. So what is the chamfering? Chamfering is also an operation where the turning or beveling or turning of taper end of the workpiece. It is the process of removing burrs after the operation such as knurling, turling, and threads. Burrs means uneven surfaces or any other surface dislocations. All that will be removed with the help of this chamfering. Okay, this is what happens in the case of chamfering. So all this comes into an action in the case of chamfering. Okay, so and forming and operations all are happening. Now, everyone, just have an overview. Okay, what you have to do in the proper format. Just have an overview of it. So now we will start with the topic where it is known as feed mechanism in lathe. Okay, everyone, Rahul, just take a notebook and just write feed mechanism in lathe. Feed mechanism in lathe. Okay, feed mechanism in lathe. Okay, so what do you mean by feed mechanism? What do you mean by feed mechanism? The feed, mainly the power driven is given to feed rod from the headstock to the gears. Okay, here in the case of this, a power is driven from the headstock to given the gears. So where does the headstock is there? Okay, where do we find the headstock? We find the headstock over here, where we have a feed mechanism. So feed mechanism lays is the heading where the power driven is given to the feed rod from the headstock through the gears, so the carriage gets linear motion. So in the last class we have drawn an figure which shows the headstock everything of lathe, where we can see here the power drive. Here the power drive is given to the feed rod from the headstock through the gears. Here the power drive is given to the feedstock from the headstock through the gears, and so that the carriage gets a linear portion. So then what is the carriage? Or last class we have mentioned. So here what is we get a carriage to the linear position. This is what happens. A carriage happens in the linear position. Okay, that's what happens. Then the mechanism consists of reversing mechanism. Okay, and change gears, quadrant, kick change, gearbox, lead screw, feed rod, and apron. Feed mechanism provide different rates of turning. So all this comes into an action in the case of a feed mechanism of lathe. How do we feed? Feed means how do we give an input? Okay, that's what we say. How do we give an input in the case of a feed mechanism? Okay, how do we give an input in the case of a feed mechanism? This is what happens. Okay, how do we give an input? So now, and in the case of after the feed mechanism, we all will be having a reversing mechanism. Okay, will be having a reversing mechanism. This is what we name it as reversing mechanism. So in the case of reversing mechanism is
screen കാണുന്നില്ല sir.
അറിയാം. Yes. In the case of ഞാനത് ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഇൻട്രൊഡക്ഷൻ കൊടുക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു. ഓക്കെ, in the case of feed mechanism എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ഞാൻ പറയാം. ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്. ഓക്കെ, ഇപ്പോഴോ ഷെയർ ആവുന്നില്ലേ?
Yes sir.
Fine. Okay, so this is what we name it as a feed mechanism. Okay, so this is what we basically terms as feed mechanism. So feed mechanism is this is the basic figure. Okay, where we have a feed mechanism, there are three types, that is longitudinal feed, cross feed, and angular feed. So before going to that, we will have a brief description about the feed mechanism. So here in the case of feed mechanism, the power driven is given to the feed rod. You can see here the power is given, it's always given to the feed rod. So here we will be having a feed rod. So the power driven is given to the feed rod from the headstock through the gears. Okay, with the help of from the headstock with the help of gears. What is the purpose of a gear? Rahul, what is the purpose of a gear? Basic purpose. Not Rahul. Anyone? Okay. Rahul can say. Okay. What's the purpose of a gear?
Sir, to convey motion.
To convey motion. What type of motion to what type of motion? Anyone of you? Not Rahul. Anyone of you can say. Let me hear the sound. Okay, so now we will start. Like in the case of automobiles, we have gear. What is the purpose of automobile to have a gear? What is the purpose of an automobile to have a gear? Others? Yes, others. What's the automobile gear? What's the purpose of a gear? ഒറ്റ വാക്കിൽ എന്ത് പറയാം? ടു ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റ് മോഷൻ അല്ലേ? പിന്നെ എന്ത് മോഷൻ ടു എന്ത് മോഷൻ ചെയ്യുമെന്ന് പറയാൻ പറ്റുമോ? Others, you are not audible. No problem. Fine. Okay. So, അറിയില്ലെങ്കിൽ അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ്സിൽ ഞാൻ ആദ്യം ചോദിക്കും. Please tell me. ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു തരുമല്ലോ കേട്ടോ. Okay. അത് നിങ്ങൾ അറിഞ്ഞു നോക്കേണ്ടതാണ്. So, that is the feed mechanism. There are 3 types of feed. So, before saying that, we have a feed mechanism of lathe, where we have a feed mechanism. I told the feed mechanism consists of a reversing mechanism, change gears, quadrant, quick changer, gearbox, lead screw, feed rod, and apron. Then also the feed mechanism helps to provide different feed rates for turning. So like reversal mechanism consists of a number of gears where it changes the direction of rotation of the lead screw. Okay, the reversing mechanism mainly consists of a various number of gears where it changes the direction of a rotation of the lead screw or feed so that the carriage travels either to its right or the left. So change gear quadrant is a set of gears carried on the compound known as quadrant proper. So all this happens in the case of a reversing mechanism. So according to the purpose or according to the types, there are 3 types of feed. That is longitudinal feed, cross feed, and angular feed. Okay, longitudinal feed, cross feed, and angular feed. So in the case of longitudinal feed, is the tool moves parallel to the work. Okay, in the case of longitudinal feed, is just note it down in one word. This is the shortest way. Longitudinal feed, where the tool moves parallel to the work towards or away from the headstock, both the directions, towards or away from the headstock. And in the case of cross feed, is tool moves perpendicular to the work and towards or away from the operator. Here it is a tool moves perpendicular in the case of cross feed, and in the case of longitudinal feed, it moves parallel to the work. And that's what happens in the case of longitudinal and cross. Then third one comes is the angular feed. In the case of angular feed, the tool moves at an angle to the work by swirling. The tool moves at an angle to the work, which is known as feed. This is what happens in the case of feed mechanism. So, meaning there are 3 types. So, feed mechanism is consists of reversing and changing of gears. So, and also including this, we have a setup called quick change gearbox is located under the headstock in the front lathe. It provides different feed rates for turning and different pitches for thread cutting. By merely shifting the levers, feed rate can be rapidly selected. After that, a modification like setup is like quick change gearbox is located. We have a quick change gearbox. So, in the case of quick change gearbox, is located under the headstock. It is mainly located under the headstock in the front of lathe, where it provides different feed rates for turning. Where it provides different feed rates. Oral purpose different feed rates kodukkum speed, like different feed rates for turning and different pitches for thread cutting. By merely shifting the levers, feed rate can be rapidly selected. By merely shifting the levers, feed rate can be rapidly selected. This is what happens in the case of feed mechanism in the lathe. So this is what happens. Okay. Now this is what we say it in the case of a lathe. And now in the case of normal gear mechanism, the power is transmitted. Okay, the power is transmitted at a certain or a proper rate. That's what we say. In the case of a proper gear mechanism, the power will be always transmitted at a proper or a according to the requirements. Okay, it is always transmitted according to the requirements, where we require certain purposes, like what is the machining aspect, what is the type of material we are using, what is the thermal aspect, then what is the other types of aspects. All this comes into the case of feed mechanism. Now you see, this is the drilling machine. Okay, so this is the drilling machine, where we have a drilling machine, and this is the drill bit, and this is the normal drilling purpose. Okay, so on the tip of the drill bit, we will be always having a diamond tip. Okay, diamond tip, in order to have a normal cutting operation. Okay, in order to have a normal cutting operation, we will be always having a drilling. Drilling is the most purpose for making. What is the main purpose of a drilling? Muhammad Shahzad, what is the main purpose of a drilling? What's the main, Muhammad Shahzad, what's the main purpose of a drilling?
Yes, sir.
For putting a hammer or you drill, right? So how do you drill? What type, after drilling, what type of hole is produced? Round. Okay. Can we say like this? Operations of producing a cylindrical hole by removing metal by rotating edge of a cutting tool called the drill. Can we say like this?
Sir, cylindrical.
Okay, that's what a cylindrical hole is produced. Okay, thank you, Shahzad. So mainly in the case of a drilling bit or drill machine, where we will be having a operations of producing a cylindrical hole by removing the metal by the rotating edge of a cutting tool called the drill. Okay, by removing a metal by removing a metal with the help of a cutting tool is called a drill. This is what happens in the case of drilling machines. Okay, and we will be mentioning the various types of drilling machine. Okay, we'll be mentioning the various types of drilling machine. Now it comes with the twist drill nomenclature. Okay, now it comes with the twist drill nomenclature where we have an clearance angle, rack angle, wedge angle, point. So see, this is the cross section area of a drill. You see, this is the cross section area of the drill where we have a flute, where we have a lip and web or cross thickness, chisel edge, land and margin. So this is the twist drill nomenclature where we have an what clearance angle, rack angle, wedge angle and a point angle. So this is what happens in the case of twist drill nomenclature. Everyone just draw the figure of the basic drill. This one, only this one. The shank length, the body, the flute length, the helix angle, and heel length, and the cutting diameter, tang end. Just draw. Just have an overview of this figure. Just draw a figure. Only the first one. Molto matram. അരച്ചു എല്ലാവരും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തോ? ആർക്കും ഒരു ഉത്തരം പറയാം, കഴിഞ്ഞോ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ലേന്ന്?
No, sir.
ആ സമയം കൊണ്ട് പെട്ടെന്ന് നമുക്ക് അറ്റൻഡൻസ് എടുക്കാം. ഓക്കെ, ആകാശ് കെ എം, അഖിൽ എം,
സർ.
അമിത് കെ
പ്രസന്റ് സർ.
അമിത് ഇന്നലെ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടില്ല അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ
സർ, ഇന്നലെ നെറ്റ്വർക്കിന്റെ പ്രോബ്ലം സാർ.
ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. ആൻഡ്രൂ സുരേഷ്
Present, sir.
കാർത്തിക് കോത്തേരി,
Present, sir.
ആകാശ് എന്താ ഇഷ്യൂ? ആകാശ് കെ എം എന്താ ഇഷ്യൂ? ചാറ്റ് ബോക്സ് ഇടുന്നു. കാർത്തിക് കോത്തേരി
സർ ഞാൻ പ്രസന്റ് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള സർ.
ഓക്കെ. മുഹമ്മദ് ലാദിൻ, മുഹമ്മദ് ഷഹസാദ്.
Present, sir.
ലാദിൻ ആബ്സെന്റ് ആണല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ. മുബത്തിസം,
Present, sir.
ആസഫ്, മുഹമ്മദ് ആസഫ് ആബ്സെന്റ്. മുഹമ്മദ് ഫർദീൻ,
Present, sir.
Mohammed Fateh,
Present, sir.
Mohammed Sama,
Present, sir.
Mohammed Sian, Nisar K,
Present, sir.
Nived Kumar,
Present, sir.
Pratyush, Rahul Rajiv,
Present, sir.
Tarun Rajiv, Saurabh,
Present, sir.
Saurav Srijit, Saurav Srijit, Sriraj Vijayan,
Present, sir.
Vishnu AP,
Present, sir.
Vishnu N,
Present, sir.
Adarsh Manohar.
Sir.
Okay. So I hope so you have driven the figure. Now you will have an idea of how does this drill nomenclature works. That's the main thing about drill. So mainly we have various types of drills. Okay. So first we will discuss about this drill. Like what is meant by drill? A drill is a cutting tool used to originate or enlarge a hole in a solid material. Okay. So mainly the purpose of a drill is it is a drill. It's a cutting tool.
Sir,
Mainly drill.
2%.
Yes. ഇതെല്ലാം കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണോ പറയുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഓക്കെ വിളിച്ചിട്ടില്ലായിരുന്നു ഞാൻ വിളിച്ചിരുന്നു അതിന് വിട്ടുപോയി ഓക്കെ ഫൈൻ കുഴപ്പമില്ല കേട്ടില്ല ഓക്കെ drilling tools a drill is a cutting tool used to originate or enlarge a hole in a solid material. So in a solid material mainly a drill is used, okay, to enlarge a hole in a solid material. So a drill has fluids on its body, okay, has small fluids on its body. This type of drills generally used are for like it is mainly used of flat or spade drill, twist drill, straight footed drill, center drill. All these are the common types of drill, but we will be having a very major idea of it today. We will be having a major idea of twist drill or nomenclature today. Okay, so now we will start with twist drill nomenclature. So this is what we twist drill. So twist drill is the most common type of drill used nowadays. Is the twist drill. It has a cylindrical body. Mainly, it has a cylindrical body in which helical fluids are cut. See the helical fluids. Okay, these are the helical fluids. In this figure, you see the helical fluids where the helical fluids are cut. That's what we say. It's the most common type of drill used nowadays. Is a twist drill. Most commonly, where you see for all the normal operations, we have a twist drill where it has a cylindrical body. Always it has a normal cylindrical body. See the shape of the drill. It has got a cylindrical body in which helical fluids are cut. Here the helical fluids are cut. Twist drill are made from high-speed steel or carbon steel. I have already discussed in the class what's the purpose of a high-speed steel or carbon steel. What according to the carbon content, what to differ of the steel? What property of the steel differs? Karthik, according to carbon content, what property of the steel differs? Steelinde ഏത് property differ ചെയ്യുന്നത് when we have carbon content? We have already discussed in the class, in the offline class, first class. Carbon content കൊണ്ട് steel എന്താ factors ഉണ്ടാവുക? What property? What property? Strength അല്ലേ? Okay. എന്താരും പറയാത്തെ? ആർക്കും അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നോ? Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Say, അപ്പം carbon അതാരും ചോദിച്ചാൽ പറയാനെടുക്കാൻ പറ്റില്ല. Carbon. So carbon means strength ആണ്. So this is what happens. So cylindrical body with the helical fluids are cut. Twist drills are made from high-speed steel or carbon steel. Okay, they are made in various sizes. Automatically, according to the purpose and requirement, they are made in various sizes. Then twist drill have either straight shank or taper shank. Okay, according to the requirement, നമുക്ക് എന്തുണ്ടാവും? Straight shank ഉണ്ടാവും ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ taper. This is the shank length. Okay, straight shank or a taper shank ഉണ്ടാവും. Taper എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it's an angle. Straight shank അല്ലേ? അതാണ് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്. So twist drill the twist drills either have a straight shank or a taper shank. Generally, drills are up to 12 mm having straight shank and larger size have taper shank. Normal drills, okay. Normal drills, generally the most common drills are up to 12 mm, okay. It will be most probably having straight shank and larger size having taper shank. So this is the mainly the twist drill nomenclature. So first we have a body, then we have a shank, then we have a tank, Then we have a point. Okay. Then we have a point. Fifth one is lip or cutting edge. Sixth one is flute. Seventh one is chisel edge and dead center. Eighth one is land. Ninth one is neck. 10th one is point angle. 11th one is rack angle. Then chisel edge angle. All this comes in a drill. Okay. So this is what happens in the case of a drill. So the main parts. So now we'll say the various parts of drill. Just have an overview. Okay. Body. Body is, it is the main part of the drill where it has spiral flutes. This is what we see in the figure. Okay. This is the main part of the drill where it has a spiral flutes. Now second one is a shank, where it is the part that fits into the machine spindle. Okay. It is the shank that fits. It's a shank that part. It's a part that fits into the machine spindle or any other holding device. Okay. Fits in the machine spindle or any other holding device. That's what happens in the case of this drill nomenclature. It fits into the shank or any other nomenclature. So it fits into the machine spindle or any other holding device. The shank may be tapered or straight according to the requirement and according to the purpose and according to the material which has to be drilled. The shank may be of tapered or straight. The most taper is used for taper shank. Then tang. Tang, it is flattened end to of taper shank. Tang, it is a flattened end of a taper shank. Then it fits into the drift slot in the machine spindle. Tank. Okay. Then it comes with a tank. See, this is the tank. T-A-N-G. Tank. Okay. This is the tank where tank. It is a flattened end. Okay. Tank is the flattened end. So this is the main. See, the flattened end is a flattened end on the end of the taper shank. This is a taper shank. This is a taper shank, and it has got a flattened end. It fits into the drift slot in the machine spindle. It fits into the machine drift slot in the machine spindle, and the drill bit gets the drive from the spindle through the tank, and the drill bit gets the drive from the spindle through the tank. This is what happens. Okay, this is the normal, and here is the normal end where the cutting edge happens. So this is what happens. Then it comes with the point. Okay, point. This is the conical end of the drill. So point is the mainly we say the point. Okay, point. This is the point where the conical end of the drill. This is the conical end of the drill. The point. Okay, this is the conical end of the drill. The point is shaped to produce lip, face, flank, chisel edge, or dead center. Okay, this is the drill. Okay, so this is the point. Point is the mainly chip face. Okay, the conical end of the drill. This is the conical. This is cone shape. The conical end of the drill. The point is shaped to produce. The point. Okay, the point is shaped to produce lip, a small lip or a face, lip or face, flank, and chisel edge or dead center. A small chisel edge or dead center is mainly in the case of a point. Okay, this is the point. You see, here's the point. Then it comes with the lip or the cutting edge. Okay, then it comes with the lip length or the cutting edge. Okay, then comes with the lip length or the cutting edge. So it is the edge where actually cuts the material. So this is the lip. Okay, lip edge. Okay, lip and this is the lip length where cutting edge. So it is the edge which actually cuts the material. It is the edge where it actually cuts the material. There are two cutting edges. They are equally inclined at 59 degree with the drill axis for general work. Okay, so lip or cutting edge, it is the edge which actually cuts the material. Okay, it's normally mainly the edge which actually cuts the material. There are two cutting edges. They are equally inclined at almost 60 degree and almost an angle of 60 degree with the drill axis for general work, mainly with the drill axis for general work. Then it comes with the flute, F-L-U-T-E-S. Okay, these are the helical grooves cut on the body of the drill. Mainly these are the helical grooves cut on the body of drill. The main functions of the flutes are, okay, this one, the main function. This is what we say, the main function. Okay, the main function of the flutes are to form the cutting edges on the point. Okay, to form the cutting edges on the point, then to make the chips to curl, to allow chips to escape. Okay, the removal of chip, to allow the removal of chip at a faster rate or to escape from the drill bits. That's what happens, flutes. So to form the cutting edges on the point, mainly to form the cutting edges on the point, then to form to make the chips to curl, to allow chips to escape, then to allow cutting fluid to reach the cutting edge. These are in the case of flutes. Then we have a chisel edge or dead center. This acts as a flat drill. Okay, now we have the edge center or the chisel. Okay, chisel and the mainly the top, the edge center. So all are basically related to what? All are basically related to the drilling operation where we have certain angles, and it is always considered according to the what? The material quality, the material to be drilled, the drill bit which is using, the hole to be made, the hole dimensions, the specification, and all this has to be considered. So now it comes to chisel edge or dead center. This acts as a flat drill. Okay, the chisel acts as a flat drill. Okay, this mainly acts as a flat drill. It cuts a small hole in the workpiece. It is mainly used for the cutting a small hole. Okay, or dead center mainly used for small hole in the workpiece. Okay. Then the cutting edge remove further material to complete the hole. Then the cutting edges, okay, the cutting diameter, cutting edges remove the further material to complete the hole. Then it comes to the land. It is a narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluid. It is a narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluid. Okay, it is a narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluid. So it is a narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluid. It is also called as a margin. It is also called as margin. Then drill is full. Drill is a full. It is also called as margin, and drill is full and size only across the lands at the point end. So land, this is the land. The land is the narrow surface. This is the land. See, this is the land. It is the narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluids. It is mainly found on the edge of the fluid. So see, in the edge of the fluids we see the land. Okay, friend, this is the edge of the fluid. So it is a narrow surface ground on the edge of the fluid. It is also called as margin. It can be also called as margin, where drill is full size. Where according to this, the drill is full size only across the lands at the point end. Only across the lands at the point end. Then the drill is aligned with the help of land. Okay. The drill is aligned. So always the drill is aligned with the help of land. Then it comes with a neck. Okay. Then it comes with the neck. It is the undercut portion. Okay, neck means it is the undercut portion. NECK. Okay, neck. Neck means it is the undercut portion between the body and the shank. Okay, neck it is the undercut portion between the body and the shank. Generally, the size and other details of the drill are marked at the neck. So, what do you mean neck? Neck it is the undercut portion between the body and the shank. Neck it is the undercut. Is the undercut portion between the body and the shank. Generally, the size and other details of the drill are marked at the neck. Then it comes with a point angle. Okay, then comes with a point angle. So neck is this, and this is neck. Then it comes with a point angle. So point angle, it is the angle between the cutting edge. Okay, point angle is mainly it is an angle between the cutting edge. It is generally 118 degree. To cut harder material, larger angles are used. In order to cut harder material, the larger angles are used. This is known as the point angle. Okay, this is known as the point angle, where in order to cut, it's generally cut to 118 degree. In order to cut larger, like to cut harder material, larger angles are used. Then comes with the rack angle. Okay, the rack angle is a common thing, it's commonly used, where it is the helix of the flute of the drill. It is the helix of the flute of the drill. It is the helix of the flute of the drill, where the usual value of the rack angle, it is helix of the flute of the drill, where the usual value of the rack angle is 30 degree and 45 degree. Where the usual value of the rack angle is the 35 degree, and that is mean by the rack angle. Rack angle is, it is the helix of the flute of the drill. Okay, it is the helix of the flute of the drill. Okay, helix of the flute of the drill. The usual value of rack angle is 30 to 45 degree. You have to always note down the values. Okay, like for the case of rack angle, the point angle. So like the rack angle, it is normally between 30 to 45 degree. In the case of point angle, it is almost 110 or 115 degree. And in the case of lip or cutting edge, it is almost 60 degree. All these angles has to be done for a basic idea of a drill, where it gives a maximum output, maximum pressure, and maximum material removal rate at the time of drilling or making a hole. Now it comes with the chisel edge angle. It is the obtuse angle. Okay, obtuse angle between the chisel edge and the lip. Generally, this angle is 120 degree to 135 degree. Mainly, this is the chisel edge angle, where it is the obtuse angle, which is between the chisel edge and the lip, where generally this angle is 120 degree to 135 degree. Generally, this angle is 120 degree to 135 degree. Then it comes with the specification of a drill. Okay, now it comes to specification of drill, where a drill is specified by its diameter, the type of shank. A drill is specified by its diameter, the type of shank, the length of the body, and the tool material. Okay, now the specification of a drill. A drill is specified by its diameter. Mainly a drill. What do you mean? A drill is specified. A drill is always specified by its diameter, the type of shank, the length of the body, and the tool material. All this comes into consideration in the case of a drill. Okay, twist drill under the case of this. Okay, now this is what happens. So now you have a clearance angle, rack angle, wedge angle, and point angle. All these angles play a very important role. Clearance angle, rack angle, wedge angle, point angle, all plays the case of removing of a material at a proper rate in order to achieve maximum output. Like removing of a material at a proper rate in order to achieve maximum output. This is what happens. So this is what happens in the case of drill bit. Okay. Now we will have the main drilling machine tools. Okay. These are the main drilling machine tools. So before the drilling machine tools, okay, there are various types like twist drill, two cutting edges, straight drills, step drills, sub drills, and coast drills. Like these are the various machining tools. Okay. Like drilling machine tools, so flat and spade drill, twist drill, straight drill, and center drill. So all this comes in the various drilling machine tools. So before that, can any one of you tell me? Okay, can any one of you tell me? Okay, what is a drilling process? Now at least. ആർക്കെങ്കിലും ഒരാൾക്ക് പറയാൻ പറ്റും വാട്ട് ഇസ് എ ഡ്രില്ലിംഗ് പ്രോസസ്?
Process of producing cylindrical hole
ഓക്കെ
surface.
അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ, കറക്റ്റ് അല്ലേ? ഒറിജിനേറ്റിംഗ് ഹോൾസ് ഇൻ ദ വർക്ക് പീസ് ആൻഡ് ദ മെഷീൻ യൂസ് ഫോർ ദിസ് പർപ്പസ് അല്ലേ? അപ്പം where do we find this drilling operations? Where do we find this drilling operations? In the case of lathe or vertical milling അല്ലെ? In the case of lathe or vertical milling ലാണ് മെയിൻലി നമ്മൾ എന്ത് കാണുന്നത്? ഈ cylindrical operations കാണുന്നത്. Then what is drilling is done by revolving a tool called the drill. Okay, drilling is done by removing a tool called the drill. So at the tip of the drill bill, in order to have a high cutting rate and high aspiration, what happens? Cutting rate aspiration. What happens? What is the material used in the tip of the drill? I have given an overview of this in the offline classes. I have told the material.
Diamond.
Any one of you? Yes, Rahul. Thank you. Diamond tip. Diamond tip is the exact point where we gave a maximum output, like maximum output regarding the thermal aspects as well as the cutting. Okay, that's what. Thank you, Rahul. The hole is produced either by giving axial movement of the rotating drill or moving the work axle. Now we will. Okay. Now what happens is these are the major types of drilling where we have various types. Okay. Now, these are the cutting force affecting the torque and the thrust. And see, this is the normal drilling machine. Okay, see, this is the normal drilling machine. Okay, this is the normal drilling machine. Okay, and various types are there like portable, sensitive, bench, all these types of upright. So this is a major drilling machine types. Okay, now see, it's a normal drilling machine where I hope so you are seeing. Where you have a drill bit. Okay, this is the drill bit, this is the workpiece. Okay, then we have a chuck over here where we can adjust the drill bit. Then this is the torque selecting ring. Torque selection ring means what? You can, by adjusting the amount of feed rate, by adjusting the amount of feed rate. Then we have an on-off trigger where we can switch on to power. Then we have a grip. Then this is the forward and reverse switch. In the case of drill bit, what we can say, the forward and reverse switch, it can rotate the drill in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. This is what happens in the case of a portable drilling machine. So the portable drilling machine is a very small and compact machine which can be easily moved from place to place by conveniently holding it by hand. You can see all the people who comes for a maintenance work, like if it's an electrical people or if it's an electrical people or if it is an any aspects drilling or for drilling, everyone will be having an. And you see, this is the Bosch, most common name which is heard. There are so many names according to purpose and requirement. We use various drill bits. So the most commonly found drill machine in the market is the portable drilling machine, where we see even we can use it for local purpose in our household. So we can have a spare drilling machine, not to hold drill surface. So the portable drilling machine is a small and compact machine which can be easily moved from place to place by conveniently holding it by hand, very conveniently holding it by hand. And this machine can be used for drilling holes in large workpieces. Okay, this machine can be used in drilling holes in large workpieces which cannot be conveniently held in other drilling machines, which cannot be always conveniently held in other drilling machines. This is what happens in then it is driven by electric or pneumatic power at high speeds. Normally, it is most commonly we see it just be driven by electric power. So, electric or pneumatic power at high speeds, it can drill holes up to 12 diameter. It can drill holes up to mainly up to 12 diameter, and we have hand drills, ratchet drills, and pneumatic arms are the examples of a mainly portable drilling machine. Just note it down. The main examples are what? Hand drills, ratchet drills, and pneumatic arms are the examples of the mainly for the portable drilling machine. Okay, this is the mainly example for the portable drilling machine. Now, the types. Okay, in the types we have portable drilling machine. Okay, then it comes with a a sensitive drilling machine. Then comes with a sensitive drilling machine. So, like sensitive drilling machine, again sensitive drilling machine. Then bench type of drilling machines happening. Okay, according to the purpose, various drilling machines are available. So now we'll have a drilling upright, radial, gang, multiple cylinder, deep hole, and this. So I hope so. You have noted down already all these operations, drilling machines operations like drilling, reaming, boring, counter sinking, and tapping. This we have noted down in the last class, right? You can check your notebook and say, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So now, before going to this bench, we have a portable drilling machine. So now, before going to this bench, take this as a drill bit. Okay. Now we can name it a bench or a sensitive drill bit. We can name it as so. This is a drill bit. So you can see all the parts over here. I hope so. You're seeing all the parts over here. So the base. What is the base purpose of the case of a drilling machine? What is the base? The base is a heavy casting made up of cast iron. Okay. The base is always a heavy casting made up of cast iron. It supports the column and the other parts of the machine. See, this is the base where it is the heavy casting made up of cast iron, because in order to hold these aspects, we have okay, we have this. So the base is a heavy casting made up of cast iron. So the base is always a heavy casting which is made up of cast iron. It supports the column and other parts of the machine. Okay, it mainly supports the column and other parts of a machine. That's what we came up for base. Then the upper part we have a column. Okay, we have a column. So the column is a vertical upright cylinder, where the column is a vertical upright cylinder firmly attached to the base. Okay, the column is a vertical upright cylinder part which is firmly attached to the base. Yes.
Sir, ഇപ്പം ബ്രേക്ക് അല്ലേ?
10:30 വരെ ഇല്ലേ?
10:20 വരെ അല്ലേ?
One second. ഞാനൊന്ന് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യട്ടെ. One second. Okay then. Thank you. I'll stop. ആരത് പറഞ്ഞത്? പറഞ്ഞ ആളില്ലേ?
Nivet.
Okay, thank you. Fine. You can leave. I'll stop. Okay.